Warning, this is not a drill. The United States government is now spending 23 cents of every single tax dollar they receive just to pay interest on the national debt. Not for defense, not for Social Security, not for roads or schools, just interest payments on the national debt. That number will keep rising indefinitely. And not surprisingly, the legacy media isn't talking about it. There was no fanfare, didn't make front page news, just a quiet report from the US Treasury. A number buried in the fine print, and it might just signal the end of the almighty American empire as we know it. This isn't a forecast, this isn't a conspiracy, it's already happening. The American empire isn't falling with a big bang, it's collapsing under a simple math equation. We are now a nation borrowing money just to pay interest on the money we've already borrowed. That's what debt slavery looks like. And if you think that doesn't affect you, it already has. This video is your wake-up call. I'll walk you through the numbers, I'll show you the headlines, and when you see what I've seen, you'll understand why this isn't just a crisis. It might be the beginning of the end. The silent collapse. Let's look at the math. All right, what I'm about to show you isn't a theory, it's not a prediction, it's already happening. Here's a chart from the US Treasury Department. Right now, for 2025, the US government is spending about $1.2 trillion per year just on interest payments alone. That's not even the principal, just the interest. And that burden is rising faster than most people realize. Take a look at this from Zero Hedge. This chart tracks interest expense over time, both in dollars and as a percentage of total federal tax revenue. And what do you see? A sharp, dangerous spike in interest expense on the national debt. By late 2025, interest expense is approaching 25% of total tax revenues. Think about that. That means for every dollar the government collects, nearly 1/4 is gone before it can be spent on anything else. Some other narrower measures put that number even higher. It's very concerning. So while the exact 23 cents figure may depend on the lens you're using, the direction is clear. The United States is quickly becoming a debtor nation that exists primarily to service its own debt. Not to build roads, not to care for veterans, not to defend its borders, but to repay borrowed money that go back into the hands of its bondholders. And the scary part, that interest cost is now growing faster than the economy itself. The more we borrow, the more we owe. And the more we owe, the more of our national budget gets consumed by it. This is what it looks like when an empire starts to serve the debt or its bondholders instead of we the people. And if this trend continues, we won't just be arguing about budgets, we'll be fighting over scraps. The real cost, what gets sacrificed when debt rules everything? So what happens when nearly 1/4 of every tax dollar disappears just to service the national debt? It means something else has to give, and that something is the country itself. Sacrifices are already happening. Just look at these news headlines. Social Security is on track to deplete its trust funds by 2034. Wow. Interest costs just surpassed defense and Medicare. And this happened in 2024. Interest costs on the national debt are second only to Social Security. Associated Press. US hits 38 trillion in debt after the fastest accumulation of 1 trillion outside of the pandemic. I don't think that'll ever get paid off. Think about it. You look at the numbers and we're spending more just to service the debt than we are on our kids, their education, and the future. That's not sustainable, and that's not right in my opinion. But let me know what you think down below in the comments. And here's the thing no one in Washington wants to admit. They're trapped. They can't stop borrowing, because if they do, the economy crashes. But if they keep borrowing, the debt will eventually crush them from within. It's a no-win scenario. Just look at what's already happening in Argentina. Their debt spiral didn't start with a default. It started with interest payments growing faster than their economy. And guess what? That's exactly what's happening here right now. And I don't see anyone coming to bail us out. By the way, let me know what you think about the $40 billion Argentina bailout. But here's the worst part. There's zero political will to fix this. Our politicians don't want to cut spending, and they definitely don't want to touch entitlements. And neither party wants to raise taxes. So what do? They keep on borrowing, they keep on spending, and they keep on printing. They just point fingers at the other party and act like everything's fine. But it's not fine. What we're seeing is not a sudden collapse, but a steady unraveling. So what happens next? And what does this mean for you, for your family, for your future? It means inflation doesn't go away. It just kind of hides in plain sight. Your rent will continue to go up, groceries will cost more, services will shrink. When the government can't tax enough, and it can't or won't cut spending, it takes the only way it knows out. It prints. It runs the money printer. That's inflation. It's a hidden tax, and it quietly takes a cut from every dollar you earn without you even seeing it happen. And don't think they'll stop there, because when the debt gets too big to service, there's only one way left to buy time, and that is to raise taxes. The politicians won't call it that, they'll call it something else. They'll say it's about fairness or equity. But at the end of the day, it just means more taken from you to feed a system that's failing. And when people lose faith in money, in the system, in their own future, that's when things really start to break down. That's how empires fall, not from war, but from within. The damage starts quietly with debt, decay, bad decisions, and by the time people notice, it's already too late. We're at that point now where debt is the master, and everything else we care about is being sacrificed to keep the game going. If nothing changes, this country isn't going to be remembered for what it built, but for how it collapsed under its own weight, pretending like everything was fine. So what can we do now? I don't know. I don't have the answer. No one does, because this problem is bigger than any of us. But I can tell you, it's best to stay informed and keep a healthy skepticism. And maybe start thinking about a plan B, because pretending everything is fine won't stop it from happening. Look, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm saying it because most people have no idea how bad it's gotten, and no one in charge seems willing to tell the truth. The American empire isn't falling to its enemies or invaders. It's falling because of a debt spiral, because of budgets that don't balance, and interest payments we pretty soon won't be able to afford. And here's the thing. When empires collapse like what we're experiencing now, it happens from the top down. But recovery always stops from the bottom up, from people like you choosing to think differently, living smarter, and not trusting everything they're told by the legacy media. Do you think America is becoming a slave to debt? Let me know what you think in the comments. It's kind of ironic if you think about it. And if you haven't seen my video on how the modern money system was designed to keep you poor, you need to watch my video up here next. It'll all start to make sense. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.